to Mastering Budgeting and Savings. In this class, we are going to cover critical aspects of personal finance, including the alarming statistics of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, the lack of savings, various budgeting styles, and effective strategies for building an emergency fund. Our goal is to reach as many people who are looking for financial education with the goal of removing mental barriers. Please feel free to type questions in the chat section because we will have a Q&A at the end of the session. Also, tell us in the comment section where you are logging in from today. Hi, I'm Coach Sapphire Star, owner of Organized Chaos, and over 10 years ago, I paid off $33,000 worth of student loan, car loan, and credit card debt, saved to invest, started an online company, fired my boss, and began traveling the world. I wrote a book called Live Freely, Freedom to Work Whenever, Wherever, to share my story, to inspire others to empower their money mindset, master their finances, and own their future through real estate investing. As a result of working with us, our clients are able to get out of debt, achieve financial freedom, and create more time to do what they love. If you haven't already, please be sure to head over to organize-chaos.com to join our free monthly newsletter to receive personal and small business financial education and resources. I don't know why the picture is missing, but we do have a few upcoming events I wanted to share with you really quickly. These are all free events, and when you subscribe to our newsletter, you will be able to get updates about these events and financial freedom and financial literacy education classes that we provide. We have an upcoming, well, every Wednesday we have a Lunch and Learn Live for those of you who are wanting to learn more about how to create wealth through real estate investing. That's every Wednesday at noon. You can go to our website and register for that free event every Wednesday. And we do have another event coming up in August. It is our credit and debt, learning how to get out of debt, leverage credit to be able to make money. Today, we're going to discuss the importance of having a budget and saving money. I'm going to explain how budgeting and saving can lead to financial stability and help in achieving both short-term and your long-term financial goals. And then we're going to highlight the peace of mind that comes from having control over your finances. Please type in the chat or comment section one short-term and one long-term saving goals that you would like and hope to accomplish. I love this quote by Peter Drucker. You can't manage what you can't measure. I believe this quote is apropos when we're thinking about budgeting and saving, whether it's your personal finance or your business finance. You must be able to identify what your income is, what your incomes are, what your expenses are, so you can be able to track them and be able to take control of your finances and achieve whatever your financial goals are. But it's really difficult to do that if you don't have sort of a roadmap to kind of guide you to where you are going and identifying where you are. But first, let's talk about the financial landscape in the US. According to a survey by Lending Club, as of 2023, 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, of which 40% of that number are high earners. A bank rate survey revealed that 25% of Americans have no emergency savings, and only 39% have enough savings to cover a $1,000 emergency expense. They cited the reason, 40% of that survey stated the reason was lack of budgeting and financial planning. I'm sharing these statistics and these numbers with you to, number one, let you know that you are not alone and that there is a way out. Also, most people believe, well, if I make more money, then I won't be having to live paycheck to paycheck. But again, statistics show that even high earners are struggling to be able to take care of their bills. And what this shows you is not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep in managing what you have. Believe it or not, there was a time in my life when I too was living paycheck to paycheck. After leaving a toxic marriage, I was drowning in debt, struggling to pay my bills, and facing a foreclosure. I'll be honest, I was not tracking my expenses and my finances were not a priority. We have a tendency to allow the vicissitudes and the day-to-day of life to distract us from what is important. You have the ability to begin organizing your finances by budgeting and saving to get out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle. So what is budgeting? Budgeting is the process of creating a plan to spend your money. Like Dave Ramsey always says, it's telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It helps you ensure that you have enough money for the things you need and the things that are important to you. A budget allows you to understand where your money goes, avoid overspending, and find money for savings and investing to build your wealth and secure your future. Here are a couple of budgeting styles, some of the most common budgeting styles for creating a budget. And we're going to go in depth for each one of these. Number one is the zero-based budgeting. Then we have the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting. And then lastly, we have the envelope system. To develop a budget, you need to calculate your monthly income, track your daily expenses, and then determine how much you spend on your monthly bills. First, let's review the zero-based budgeting. You work way too hard for your money to lose track of it. Adopting a zero-based budget could help you track and effectively use every dollar you earn. A zero-based budget is a framework that assigns a job to every dollar of your take-home pay. Zero-based budgeting is a way to plan how you use each dollar you earn. This budgeting style gives you greater insight into your finances. You can save more money, and it provides you the flexibility of customizing your budget each month. The zero-based budget requires advanced planning, particularly for those with inconsistent incomes. So essentially with the zero-based budget, for every dollar that you make, your take-home pay, you account a job, you put that money to work. And so your budget, once you finish tallying up the numbers, your income and your expenses should equal zero. Next, we have the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren popularized the 50-30-20 budget rule in her book, All Your Worth, the Ultimate Lifetime Money Plan. The rule is to split your after-tax income into 3 categories of spending: 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. The 50-30-20 rule states that you should spend up to 50% of your after-tax income on what you need and your obligations that you must have or must do, such as food, housing, and transportation. The remaining half should be split between your savings and debt repayment, which is 20%, and everything else into what you want, 30%, dining out, clothing, trips, etc. The rule is intended to help individuals and families to manage their money to balance paying for necessities with savings for emergencies and retirement. People who follow the 50-30-20 rule can simplify it by setting up automatic deposit, using automatic payments, and tracking changes in your income. Next, we have the envelope system. The cash envelope system is a way to manage your spending by putting cash in physical envelopes labeled for a specific budget category. The goal of the envelope system is to only spend what's in your envelopes for the month. The envelope system can help you stick to a monthly budget and be more intentional with your spending. I know nowadays we mostly use our debit cards or our credit cards, but this system is a great way to not overspend, because when you do your budget every month, you categorize where you're going to spend, where your expenses go. You physically take that money out, you separate it into envelopes, and you only pull out of the envelope for that particular expense. When I began my financial freedom journey, this was the system that I used in conjunction with the zero-based budgeting system to be able to pay off the $33,000 worth of debt and save to invest. Okay, so how do you create a budget? Step one, you want to calculate your income. Income is essentially money coming into your bank account. Think of this as the after-tax income. So everything that you bring into your bank account. This includes all sources of money, your salary, if you have side hustle, anything that puts money into your account, you want to account for that in the income category. Step two, you want to identify your expenses. Expenses is anything that takes money out of your account. You want to record all your expenditures for a month to understand where your money is going. Step three is you want to categorize your expenses and split your expenses into fixed expenses like your rent, your utilities, basically expenses that are the same every month, and variable expenses, the expenses that vacillate every month, like eating out, groceries, they may vary every month. Step four is to set your financial goals. We talked about it earlier. I hope some of you put it in the chat or the comment section with your short-term goals and long-term goals. Saving for a vacation, for example, or long-term goals, saving for retirement or saving for an emergency fund. It's important to identify that goal because that saving goal is going to go into your budget. Step five is you want to adjust your expenses, AKA, I always say stop buying stupid shit. Identify areas where you can cut back and reallocate funds towards your goals. Step six is very, very important. I can't stress this enough. Next to creating a monthly budget, is important to track your spending and your expenses on a weekly basis. So you have your actual, and then you have your plan, and then you have your actual, to make sure that your spending and your income coming in is aligned. And if it's not, you have the opportunity to make the adjustments on the following month. Even if some categories you may go over, you may come under, it's important to identify that, because now over time you will be able to understand and establish what your averages are and what your average needs are. Why is an emergency fund important? An emergency fund provides financial security and peace of mind, allowing you to handle unexpected expenses without going into debt. So everyone always asks me, well, how much money should I have saved in an emergency fund? It is recommended to save 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. What are your living expenses? Well, we go back to the budget. Remember, you're budgeting every month. You're keeping track of your income. You're also keeping track of your expenses. So whatever your expenses are for the month, on average, you want to save that times 3 to 6 into your emergency fund. For example, if your living expenses on average is $2,000 a month, you want to have saved $6,000 to $12,000 to be able to have a fully funded emergency fund. So here are some best ways to save for that emergency fund. Again, setting a savings goal. Determine the amount you need to save and set a timeline for achieving it. Remember, evaluate what your average living expenses are, multiply that by 3 to 6 to get the 3 to 6 fully funded, get that number, and then create a timeline for achieving it. How long will it take you to save $6,000? Then you would break that up over your time frame, whether it's 6 months, whether it's a year. You would break that up and begin saving towards that goal. It's very important to automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account to ensure consistency. That way you can set it and forget it. Next, you want to cut unnecessary expenses. Review your budget and identify and eliminate those non-essential spending habits that you can defer until you've reached your emergency fund saving goal. Delayed but not denied. You can also increase your income. Those are two ways to create residual income, is to reduce expenses and increase your income. Consider starting a side hustle or doing some freelance work or selling unused items to boost your savings to get to your savings goal sooner than later. Because the sooner you save for your emergency fund, then you can begin saving to invest to be able to grow your money. And we're going to get to that in another one of our workshops, saving to invest. Right now, this is our budget to save. Lastly, you want to use windfalls wisely. Whenever you get a large lump sum of money, such as bonuses, tax refunds, or gifts, you can put that towards your emergency fund. So here are some examples of different budget styles, and this is a zero-based budget. Gabby has written out her income and her expenses, including debt repayment and saving goal. You see her income is $4,000, and she has separated her expenses into fixed and variable categories. We have the housing, utilities, food. She also has she has created a category for eliminating debt, as well as personal miscellaneous items, transportation, sinking funds. A sinking fund is a savings account that helps you save money for a specific expense or a goal by a certain date. So if you're trying to save money for your birthday or for Christmas, or something that you have something, a travel trip coming up, this is an opportunity to put that in the category. And charity, you can give to charity if you go to church to pay your tithes. You can include this into your budget, because that is an expense that you have coming out of your account. I always tell people, I know we tend to shy away from the B word, the budget, but the budget, again, is simply telling your money where to go. It doesn't have to be rigid. It can be something that you create, you customize, and you can still do the things that you love, but in moderation, especially if you have a specific saving goals, or if you're trying to get out of debt. You can look and see what you have to be able to help you achieve those goals sooner than later. But the objective is to have a financial snapshot, a roadmap to help you get to where you're going sooner and later. And the sooner you achieve your goals, the better off you are getting out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And not to get too much off on a tangent, because when it comes to financial freedom, financial independence, a lot of people are in working jobs that they do not like, or in situations that they're uncomfortable with, not because they want to, but because they have to. But just imagine a day and a time where work becomes optional and you don't have to stress and worry about money. The first key to that success in getting to that place in your life where you're no longer imagining, where you're living your dream, is a budget. It really is that simple. It's not always easy, but it really is that simple. And lastly, with the zero-based budget, the objective is when you add up all of Gabby's expenses, they're going to equal $4,000. Now, this is the plan. This is the plan budget. So this is what you set aside the end of the month before the beginning of the next month. And then as you're going throughout the month, then you're going to have what you're actually spending to see where you are. Ideally, you want to make sure that these categories equal, but you may go over, you may go over, you may go under. Again, you make the adjustments for the next month, but you're tracking it. You have a trail. Here is another example, Ken's budget, and you can see how he kept it very simple. Again, budgeting doesn't have to be rigid or strict or anything of that nature. It just have to be very clear and to the point, and something that you and your significant other and your partner understands. And here you can see where Ken income is 3,500, and when he lists out his expenses, the amount left is $0. But you see, he allocated for his fixed expenses. He also allocated for dining out, his gym membership. Don't forget those subscriptions. They add up. We Netflix and Hulu and Apple, all those things add up, but they are expenses. He has allocation for credit card payments, clothing. If you like to go shopping every now and then, just plan for it and make sure you have enough money in your budget to cover it. Entertainment, emergency fund, retirement savings, and he has a travel fund. I love that. I love to travel. So I love this. This is kind of like what my budget would look like. And also with the zero-based budget, this is something that you can use with the envelope system, and you can pull out cash and put in label envelopes to distribute as you spend. So you will have envelopes labeled for, and these are mostly for the variable, because most people will have the fixed, they may be coming directly out of their account, but the ones that aren't fixed, you can have these envelopes labeled, and you can put the cash in there at the beginning of the month or as your income is coming in, and pull out of those categories based on what you have documented in your budget. And here we have an example of a budget using the 50-30-20 budget rule of Shauna and Mike. Their combined income is $6,000 a month. And as you can see, 50% of that, which is $3,000, will go towards their needs, such as housing, groceries, transportation, bills and utilities, health insurance, car payments, etc. Then they will have $1,500 going towards their, I have these numbers kind of off because 30, that would be more or less like $2,000. 30% of 6,000 is about $2,000 would go towards their wants, which is, this can go under travel, entertainment. These are the want section, restaurant, shopping, and hobbies. And then about $1,000 will go towards the saving categories, which you have the subcategories of emergency fund, debt repayments, retirement, and investing. Please put in the chat or the comment section what budgeting style resonates with you the most. Here are some tools and resources to help you create that budget. I always tell my clients, create an experience when it comes to budgeting. Make it an experience, make it fun. At the end of the month, before the start of the new month, take 30 minutes to an hour and set aside some time and a quiet space and begin to do your budget. You can light a candle, grab a glass of water or adult beverage, play some soft music, meditation music, whatever you need to get you inspired, to motivated, to get your money moving, and get with your partner if you're married or you have a significant other, and create your monthly budget. And again, keep it super simple. They have apps available, but you can start with a paper and pen. Again, your categories are income and expenses. That's it. And subcategorize your expenses. You can do that on a piece of pen and paper, and you can track that with either keeping your receipts as you spend. But if you're using the envelope system, you already have the money and you're pulling it out. But again, still keep your receipts because you want to track it. So you can put the receipts in the envelopes, or you can maybe once a week go through your bank statement if you're using your debit card and track your spending and make sure you're adding your spending up accordingly to what you have allocated for that category to be spent. You can also use budgeting journals and budgeting apps. Apps are really great because they allow you to budget on the go. And so that eliminates maybe having to have envelopes and carrying around receipts. You can literally just, as soon as you go to the grocery store, you can say, okay, I spent $50 at the grocery store. You put that in the app and you're done. Here are some apps that I recommend that I have used in the past. Mint allows for you to track expenses and help you create the budget. You Need a Budget, YNAB, focuses on the zero-based budgeting. And the Every Dollar app, and this is the one that I currently use. This is a simple interface for using the envelope system. You now know how to track where your money is going. So ask yourself, do you need to make a change? If you would like to take a deeper dive to unlocking your financial future, we do offer one-on-one coaching for those who need additional help, because what I've showed you was good enough for you to say, you know what, Sapphire, I'm ready to start my budget. I'm ready to track my spending. I'm ready to create my savings goal, then make it happen. But if you're someone like Sapphire, I need some help. I need accountability. I need someone to partner with me. I need someone to help me come up with a strategy and goals to create my financial dreams. Then we do offer these services for you. Our three packages are the Freedom Starter package, and that's our 3-month package. And that includes 6 months of virtual one-on-one coaching section. That includes teaching you our financial freedom framework, includes financial freedom workbook, unlimited email and text support, as well as a copy of my book, Live Freely, Freedom to Work Whenever, Wherever, for $5.99. Our most popular coaching plan is our Freedom Preferred plan. And this is our 6-month plan. And this includes everything in the Freedom Starter plan, but it includes 12 one-on-one virtual coaching sessions. In addition to, we begin exploring investing basics. And we also offer 20% discount to all our paid events, our workshops, and our retreats that we have coming up. And you can break this up over in a payment plan of 2 payments of $449. And last but not least, if you're like, you know what, I need more time, I need a longer experience and partnership with you, then you have the option of signing up for our Freedom Complete plan. This plan includes everything in the starter, the preferred, and in addition, 24 one-on-one coaching sessions. If you're like, Sapphire, I have more questions. I need to know more about these plans. I'm not really sure. You can book a free 30-minute consultation. You go to organize-chaos.com and go to our, I think is book a call or services. Click that and book a free call with me, and we can talk about it and see, okay, what we have available to be able to help you. But the best part about all of this is because you attended the call tonight, I do have a limited special offer available. Our Freedom Starter Plan goes from $5.99 to $4.99 for 3 months. The Freedom Preferred Plan, 2 payments of $3.99, or our Freedom Complete Plan is 4 payments of $3.50. This limited time offer does expire off August 1st. But again, if you have more questions, you need more time, book a call and we can see how we can make this happen.